Now you have a portfolio, right? Whether that's rentals, a short term, or and however financing structure that you have. Okay, now you have a lot of rentals. How does property management works for you now?
That's a very interesting question because I've been having a very deep conversation with my husband lately about that. I've had short-term rental companies since 2017. Not companies, but company. And what it did in the beginning, I was managing for other people. And unfortunately, it wasn't my thing to do a service to others. Although it was fun, I learned a lot of things. But I just focused on doing my own property. So I was focusing on short term and mid term rentals, corporate rentals. Like, for example, the one in Fishtown, there's a Carvana, a car,
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes,
car
yes,
vending machine.
yes.
There were contractors who was building like the glasses of the vending machine, and they needed to save for, I believe it was like 3 months.
Mm,
Every month they paid like, I forgot the numbers already, but it was like 6 grand or something for 5 people. For them, it was a good deal. The only overhead I had that property was $600 plus maybe some bills, right?
sure.
And then they also pay for housekeeping every week, $125, you know? So for me, that kind of deal was just it's even better than long-term rental. So in the beginning, I did everything, right? I got the property, I did a construction cleaning. Like I literally did the cleaning myself, right? I
Mm,
bought the vacuum, the post-construction vacuum, and I cleaned it. I went to Walmart, IKEA, Costco, and I did the shopping, furnished the whole thing, the marketing online, responding to the guests. And then at one point you're like, what the heck am I doing? Right? Yeah, you don't have life anymore. And then that was one of the reasons why I had to stop managing other people's property because I was doing all of that and they would call me and going crazy, like, Susan, I think there's somebody at the property, but I don't see anybody on here. And at that time, unfortunately, like the sync in the calendar wasn't like as advanced as now, right? Right now, there's a lot of Airbnb third-party platforms like Yesty and like Uplisting. That's what we use, and there's a lot of platform. Then it wasn't, it wasn't that good, right? So the calendar wasn't synced, and there was a lot of technical difficulties back then. So with the short-term rental, that's how I got started with the company, right? I started hiring people offshore. I actually had a Colombian friend who joined. Then it was, I hired him, but we became friends. But he was already like a serial entrepreneur in Colombia, and he was emphasizing the fact that, Susan, you need to have people, you need to have system, you need to delegate. And he educated me about all these different things, and I'm like, that makes so much sense, right? So I started hiring more people, started working with people from different countries, but they're super smart, right? Like
mm,
often a lot of people just call this loose term of virtual assistant. They're not an assistant level. They're like engineers. They have like degrees of like, it's super higher level educations, and the way they work is very efficient, right? They're not there to spend time. They really want this company to grow. Well, not everyone, but the people I have met. So I started growing the company that way, and then the system was kind of like transferable to different perspectives of my management in my real estate
mm,
portfolio, like construction management, right?